Good afternoon, beloved cemeterians and friends. It is Reverend Casey. I decided today it would be nice to record this video from a slightly different place than I normally do. I'm not sure if you all know, but outside the minister's window here on the side of the building is this really cute sort of seating area with 3 different benches. And we have some rocks and some plant life and things. And I thought it would just be really nice to do our video from here today, just for a little bit of a change of pace. And it's also something that if you've never sat here before, you're always welcome to. If you're here on a Sunday, you want to have a cup of coffee out here, if you'd like to do some pastoral care but would like to not do it in the office, this is just a really nice sort of outdoor space for us to use. And I think in my almost 3 years here, I think this is the first time I've sat outside here to enjoy it. So thanks for giving me a reason to. Thank you all for everyone who was able to make it in person or online for today's service as we puzzled through what it is like to not worry so much about perfection and success, but maybe it's the journey that we take along the way. I love that there were a lot of people who reflected on the question of how and not why. So very glad to hear all of that reflection today. Next week, I'll be preaching a little bit on the historical context of freedom of the pulpit, which also goes hand in hand with freedom of the pew, which we'll talk a little bit more about on Sunday. But it is one of the parts of ministry that I find very interesting. And I will leave it here when I say it's something I think Summit does really, really well. When I say freedom of the pulpit, it's about what we talk about when from the pulpit. We'll go into more on Sunday. And a very, very important event this week that I want to make sure is on everyone's radar. This coming Saturday, Peter Boland will be speaking for us, not for our Sunday service. He's coming and speaking for us and sharing one of his lectures. He did this lecture for the Pacific Southwest service area last year at First Church. And I've asked him to come back and do it again for us because it is really a stunning lecture on liberalism, and I think East County is well due for the conversation. Doors open at 4. It's going to run about 90 minutes. I think it'll be an hour discussion and another 30 minutes for questions, but don't quote me on that. There is a $20 suggested donation at the door, so please just be aware of that when you come in. We tried to do it a little bit early so that folks weren't